joining us on Indivisible with John Stubbins. I'm your host, John Stubbins. Welcome, America. I just want to get down to what we've got today. I've got two different guests that are coming on the show. I've got Hava Loudon and Keith Lee. Keith Lee is the national director for Maga Interstate, and Hava is the Ohio. It's interesting because you've been seeing across the country, whether it's the Amish, whether it's the boat flotillas across America, or the Maga Interstate drives, people are coming out, and even when the president comes into a particular city and he's being greeted, by thousands and thousands of different supporters that are there to greet President Trump. And you can see that these people, they're lining the streets. And again, it's by the thousands. And the fake news media won't report it. But what's interesting is President Trump has so much support out there all over the country. And it's just exciting. And we love to see these flotillas and the Maga Interstate drives. And so without further ado, I want to bring on to the show Hava Loudon and Keith Lee, who are the, like I said, the national director. Keith is the national director. Hava is the Ohio director. Welcome to the show, you guys.
Hey.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, we're thrilled to have you. Tell us a little bit about what got you guys involved in this and how you heard about it. Keith, did you contact Hava? Hava, did you contact Keith? How did you guys come together?
Well, I'll tell you kind of how it started. I was kind of like this digital warrior, like most of us were. We're on here. We're trying to research ourselves and try to just try to figure out what's going on, what's truth, because the mainstream media, they're lying to you consistently, and you don't know what's the truth. So I've learned to go and research it myself and try to figure it out. Well, so you're online all the time, and finally, I just had this feeling I've got to do something. I've got to stand up. I've actually got to do something physical. So I started driving my neighborhood with a flag, and I contacted my twin brother in Dallas, and I was like, hey, what about if we go and just drag this big, huge triangle around me, go to Dallas, picking up people as we go back down to Austin, back over just huge, just spend a whole day Saturday driving. And he's like, well, that's cool. So we got with a couple of people that were interested. Next thing we know, we kind of conformed it. And the idea we came up with was circle the city, then drive to Austin and circle Austin, everybody coming in. And it just kind of blew up. August 1st, we did it only in Texas. And then I had a lot of other states that wanted to do it. And then next thing we know, we had volunteers like Hava just come in and say, hey, I want to help. And then she was kind of, hey, a lot of them were, I don't really want to be a leader. I just want to participate. But Hava stepped up, and she's been killing it up on Ohio. So I'm going to let her, since you're up in Ohio right now, I'm going to let her kind of tell you how she kind of started Ohio, and then we'll get into the meat and potatoes of it.
Yeah, and before I bring Hava into this, let me just ask you this. You said that you started August 1st in Austin, but you're from Florida, right, Keith?
No, I used to live in Florida a long time ago, but I'm actually from Texas. Yeah.
Okay, and what part of Texas are you from?
I'm in Houston right now.
Okay, so
but I was born and raised in East Texas.
Okay, I've got family down in Texas. So you started this down in Texas, and it was August 1st when you did this, right?
Yeah, August 1st was the first time we did a kind of a statewide one. We actually had 16 different cities or regions in Texas, where there'd be San Antonio, we had West Texas, we had East Texas, we had Lufkin, we had Dallas, Fort Worth, Sherman. All of us kind of went around their own city, and then we all traveled together and met in Austin, and then we circled Austin. And that was kind of the concept of what we did. And then we extended that to the other states the next month. So September 5th was our next month. Did we lose connection, Hava?
I'm here. It seems like he froze.
Yeah.
That's weird. Looks like we lost him.
Well, we're live, so we'll still keep on going.
Yeah.
Adapt and overcome. So yeah, we started to go around Austin and which was really pretty cool to get all the cities together and come. I guess he'll come on in a few minutes. I guess we'll just ramble around. Hava, how you been doing?
Good. It's been crazy. I had started with Walkaway in I think like August, just as a metro leader here, just to try to spread awareness, especially before the election. And so when your event came up, I was like, well, actually, I wasn't initially going to do it because I was with Walkaway, and I was like, well, there was someone else who had kind of stepped up, and but then they backed out. And I do want to say it's not just me. I have a co-lead, Jackie. She's been carrying a lot of the weight too, because I work full time, so she's been great.
I have no idea what happened, guys. We had something go wrong and just threw the whole system out of whack.
It was still going live, so we just kept talking.
Yeah,
good. I'm glad that you guys did. Let me ask you a question, and I was getting to this. So when you started this, had you done this before during the 2016 election, Keith?
No, sir. I've not been very political. Like, I've always been conservative, and I consider myself a Christian, but I've never been that evangelistic type person, and I just, man, I just feel like I got a calling. I needed to do this. And, and I saw a couple of concepts, New Brunswick has a Trump train that's been doing it for a couple years now. And I saw that, and I saw a couple, and I'm like, well, it's cool to do it as our own towns, but let's get towns together. Let's go around the capitals and show these governors that no matter if you're red or blue, if you don't go back to being for the people, because we are your boss, then you're going to be out. And that was the whole concept behind it. And let me tell you, it has sparked wildfire across this nation. Yeah,
boy, it really has. And by the way, we're streaming live to Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, freedomfirstnetwork.com and pilled.net. I want to talk to you, Hava. So did you go down to Texas? And did you meet Keith down there?
No, we just all been virtual.
This is actually the first time I've actually seen Hava. We've talked several times. We've seen we've talked to each other many times on the phone, but this is actually the first time I've seen her.
Yeah, I was like, today, well, I'm glad I've at least talked to Keith on the phone, because just interacting with someone, you just kind of pick up familiarity, like how to interact. I'm like, at least we've talked on the phone.
Sure. And so how did you hear about what Keith was doing?
Oh goodness, probably Twitter. I don't even either Twitter, probably Twitter, because I'm fairly active on Twitter.
Yeah, okay. And I'm not active on anything but Twitter. I mean, I've had to get on Facebook and stuff, which I can't handle it. I just can't handle it, man.
I'm part of it. I hate Facebook, but just I do it. Necessary evil, but.
And how can people how can people find you on Twitter?
I'm just at Hava Loudon, so it's at HAVALAUDON, and that's I'm on Clout Hub pretty much across the board.
Okay, give us that one more time, Hava, on Twitter.
HAVALAUDON, Hava Loudon.
And how about you, Keith? What's your handle on Twitter?
My handle on Twitter is GhostStorm. It's GHOSTORM143. And then I also have at Drag the Eye.
Okay.
And that's our main page that we started, our Twitter page. So that's kind of growing right now. It's been kind of crazy because I started in March about 500 followers, and I've got like almost 22,000 now, which is like crazy. It's kind of grown, but man, I'm just so humbled at the outpouring. It just makes me just so happy that these patriots want to stand up.
Yeah, and praise God, because God's in charge. He's the one that opens the doors, makes these connections. And I'm glad to introduce you finally, Keith, to Hava to Keith.
Yeah, we have conference calls all the time, and she's on there, but we just don't ever do voice. You know, some people still want to be, and we're that point, like, where you can't be on the fence anymore. Like, you got to either be on the other side or you got to be on the right side. And but still, some people still want that being anonymous, kind of similar. But I'm telling you right now, we're at that precipice. You have to pick a side. You can't be on the fence.
That's right. That's right. And by the way,
good versus evil.
That's right. And by the way, we were talking about this, and Hava had brought it up before we went live. What do you guys think about the woman that was arrested for going to her son's middle school football game outside? She doesn't wear a mask. You shouldn't have to wear a mask outside. She gets arrested.
Yeah. As a former police officer myself, I'm appalled. I'm embarrassed because we have an oath of office, and that right there was not what you signed up to do. That was tyrannical. This is ridiculous. We got to the point now where, with cops, you've got to stand up and do your oath. Your oath is not to the mayor. Your oath is not to that chief of police. Your oath is to the people.
That's right. That's right. And I'm a military veteran, so it's against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Exactly.
Which is what we have now. Okay.
Exactly.
States that very clearly. Hava, what do you think about that? About what happened here in Ohio?
Well, I'm in a Twitter group with several parents, and it's just been nonstop. I mean, I don't know if you know what's going on at OSU. Just today, Governor DeWine is, I don't think he mandated it, but he's wanting like regular testing of asymptomatic college students. And I just had a guy this morning tell me his daughter tested positive. I'm like, is she sick? And he's like, I think she's fine. And it's just like, what? It doesn't even make sense. It defies logic. Why are we testing people that have no symptoms, especially if they're young and healthy?
They just want the numbers up. They just want anything to make President Trump look bad. That's all. That's all they want.
That's right. And not only that, go ahead, Hava.
We feel I know I talk to people all the time. We feel so betrayed by DeWine. Being a Republican governor, we feel really betrayed by him for doing this, like not behaving like small government, like Republicans stand for.
That's right. That's right. And look, it's not that we don't want a Republican governor. We just don't want him. Right?
I mean, he's not behaving like a Republican governor.
That's right. That's right.
It makes you think he's on the cut for some reason. That's how it makes me feel.
There's been a lot of very questionable things that have raised a lot of red flags.
He reminds me a lot of Governor Whitmer up in Michigan, right?
Oh man, I can't stand that one, man.
Control. We also, I'm sure you guys saw this, we also had parishioners again outside at a church service that were arrested in Idaho. I'm sure you saw that, for singing hymns, Christian hymns. Can you believe it? Outside.
Yeah, it's crazy to me because churches so what they're doing is they're trying to take God out of everything. They're trying to desensitize our kids. They're trying to, did you see the troll doll where you push the bottom of underneath her crotch and you're able to make her make noises? Are you what sick person decided to do that? What the heck is wrong with our country right now?
So
that's what we're doing. We want to fight back.
I'll tell you this. I never was involved in politics. I've been involved in the anti-trafficking scene for about 10 years. I started about 3-4 years ago getting into child exploitation. Took me right into politics. That'll tell you everything you need to know.
Yeah, and on that front, it's interesting that you brought that up, Hava, because last week I had 3 congressional candidates running in California who are all conservatives, and one of them, Mike Cargile, we got into a discussion about Q. And the reason that it came up is because it's real simple. If you stand with Q, you stand against pedophilia and child trafficking. If you don't stand with Q, then you're for pedophilia and child trafficking. And it's really that simple, right?
Well, I think there's a lot of people who aren't Q followers that are against, pedophilia and child trafficking.
But the line's been drawn, Hava. The line has been drawn, like Keith said before. Look, you either stand with what's right or you stand with what's wrong. I mean, it doesn't get any simpler than that. And look,
I think some people are just not educated with Q. Like what is Q? And nobody wants to ask the question. Nobody wants to tell about it. But I'm starting to be like I'm saying, I was a detective. I was an auto theft detective. I'd worked trial crimes. And let me tell you, when there's too many coincidences that it's mathematically impossible to be correct, there's something to it. And if the media is censoring it and they're trying to take it down, that to me, man, all the hair on the back of my neck stands up, and it makes me say, let me question it. So everybody's attacking this. Why? And you go and you start researching it, and it's good people.
Yeah.
They want the country back.
Something. And again, I want to make this simple. Okay. If you don't stand for child trafficking and you don't stand for pedophilia, then I don't care if it's Q, R, or S. It doesn't really matter. I'm standing with what's right. And if that is represented by a Q, then so be it. I'm not standing with child traffickers, and I'm not standing with Hollywood and pedophilia.
Yeah, what about California, where now that they passed that law where like a 24-year-old man can sleep with a 14-year-old? Like, it's absolutely sick. Like, do the people not see this?
Yeah.
I rest my case.
The distinction I would make between that, though, is I found out about, before Q ever was even a thing, I had done solid research and found out what was going on with children. And I think there's a common misconception that one of the things the media is trying to use to disqualify child trafficking is Q. And so I want to be very clear that, like, my research and my awareness of child trafficking was way before Q was ever on the scene. It was very solid, has nothing to do with that. And I agree, Q, has a lot of helpful things with that. But you can, if you want to be honest with the truth and do the research, you don't even need Q. It's there.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying that you do. All I'm saying is that Q stands with you. Yeah. They stand with you. So if they stand with you, why wouldn't you stand with them? It doesn't. I mean, so look, I don't want to get into a whole discussion and down that trough. I just wanted to bring it up because look,
no rabbit holes for you.
Well, the reason I bring it up is because to me, this is a battle of good versus evil. Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
And when you make it that simple, when that line is drawn, you either go to this side or that side.
Yep.
And it doesn't have to get any more complicated than that. If you stand with liars, then go stand with the liars. Okay. If you stand with truth, then go stand with the truth tellers. It's that simple.
And also another thing, Mr. Stubbins, if I could say one quick thing, is we are not looking for a revolution. We already had a revolution. We need a revival. Yeah. We need a revival to get God back in here. We also need a revival to bring patriotism back. I should be able to fly American flag without my neighbor calling the homeowners association and saying that my flag offends them. It's out of your mind. I'm in America. If that offends you, get the heck out of here.
That's right. I agree with you. And not only that, this country was founded on Christian values, right? So if you don't like that, I mean, look, here's the deal. And I get into this discussion with people all the time. There's a lot of great men that have died and laid their lives on the line so that we can sit here today and talk. Okay. Because if you're not in a free country, we can't do this. This wouldn't be happening. And so people take that for granted. But make no mistake about it, whether it's the Civil War, whether it's World War II, whether it's what's happening on the streets right now with our law enforcement taking it, bricks to the head, getting shot, urine thrown on them. They are on the front lines. And our military over in the Middle East, the thousands that have died, from 9/11 till now, leading into that war. This is about the freedoms that people take for granted and they spit on, okay? And then you see these people, they'll get up in a law enforcement's face, and these people hide behind masks so that they can't be seen. They're cowards, okay? But as soon as you take their freedom away, who's the first person that's going to be calling? Right? People don't realize that freedom is not free.
Nope. No, it's paid in blood. It's paid in blood by all those dead soldiers.
I'm in a group with families that have had their children illegally kidnapped by CPS. And one of the stories, they just came public with it, but he's a soldier, he's a veteran, and he said, I never would have believed that I fought over there to come home and find the enemy here.
That's right. That's right, Hava. Exactly. And see,
and they've been on the news. Where's the news covering all these kids that have been recovered? Like, where's the mainstream news on this?
They're not going to cover them. They're not going to cover it, Keith, and I'm going to tell you why. They don't want to cover it because they're complicit with these people like Jeffrey Epstein, okay? And because of that, can you imagine how many people are hiding behind the curtain that haven't been exposed yet? We just found out this week that Bill Clinton was more involved with this woman that's locked up right now than it was previously reported. How many times did Bill Clinton get with Jeffrey Epstein? How many times? What did he do?
26
It's been a lot. What about John Roberts that's on that log?
Not only that, yesterday it came out that Hunter Biden and the whole Biden scam, okay, was connected to human trafficking. Did you see that?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. So when you start talking about these big names, and Hollywood's involved in it, so the mainstream media, fake news, they're going to do everything they can to hide this story for as long as they can, because as soon as it all comes out, people are going to be arrested, and they don't want that, do they?
Yeah, well, be watching tonight or tomorrow. There may be some stuff that comes out tonight.
And to keep mentioning about the law change there in California, that may be strategic.
Yes, it is strategic. By the way, you can see at the bottom of the screen, we've got October 3rd, which is the nationwide drive, and then October 10th is the Trump team drive in Miami, Florida, which is a specific drive. Keith, tell us a little bit about the October 3rd nationwide Maga Interstate drive, so everyone across the country can be involved.
Okay, so October 3rd, we're asking you to put a flag on your car and drive. We have sent our kids. We've sent our fathers went overseas. Everybody's been called to do something. I'm not asking you to take a bullet. I'm not asking you to go overseas and fight. I'm asking you to put an American flag on your car, put a back the blue flag, put a Trump flag. Doesn't matter. Any patriotic flag that you say. Put a flag on your car, fill your tank up, and drive around. That's what I'm asking.
And let me ask you this, Keith. Is there anywhere specific that people will be driving to around the country, or just drive?
Well, so each major city is going to have a drag. We have our website, which is magadragtheinterstate.com. And let me push my kids out. Hava, take over real quick. I got kids walking in. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. One thing that I wanted. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
one thing I wanted to mention, Keith,
give us that website one more time, Hava.
MagaDragTheInterstate.com.
Okay.
Yeah, so nationwide, you go there.
So
you
everybody can go to that website and get the information. MagaDragTheInterstate.com.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you go there and register, and once you register, we'll go ahead and send you. You'll get an email sent out. It should go live tomorrow, which is actually you're gonna be able to sign in, put a password in there, and you're all able to pop up your own state and find what's in your state. So you can kind of search your state and locations. So we have them in all 50 states right now. September 5th, we only had 46 states that actually showed up. We had a couple other states, but there were only 1 or 2 vehicles. But this is actually all 50 states. We already have over 150,000 people that have signed up nationwide.
Okay, let me ask you a question, Keith. So they have to wait till tomorrow to go on?
No, the website's on right now. You'll still get communication. You can follow Drag the Eye on Twitter. We also have Facebook's pages. Just type in MAGA Drag the Interstate, and then there's a public main page, and then we have every state has a page. So you'll be able to find some information on there as well. But the problem, while we're trying to get everybody to go to the website, and we're trying to build a little infrastructure on the website, is because I'm telling you, within the next 30 days, we will be censored so heavily by Simi Valley and all those tech giants because we're spreading the truth and they don't want it. And so I asked you to go there to get the information on magadragtheinterstate.com.
Yeah, magadragtheinterstate.com, people. I know you wanted to say something.
Yes. Keith had said something the other day that I thought was really, really important. I just want to briefly mention it. But, one of the psyops that the fake news media does is the polls. And I think that's part of the way they try to rig an election. For example, in 2016, the polls showed Hillary so far ahead, they thought they had it rigged. And then it wasn't going to be a big deal because everybody was like, well, she was ahead in the polls, no big deal. Like, we expected this. Of course, it was a surprise when President Trump won. Well, Keith made a really good point the other day is like, we're counteracting that because they can do what they want with the polls. But when people see these massive rallies, when they see these boat parades, when they see these cars all over, that does something to their minds. It's like, wait a minute. How, the polls say this, but this is what I'm personally experiencing. This is what I'm seeing. And I think that's why, whether it's the Unsilent March in DC with Walkaway, whether it's the MAGA Drag Interstate, it's so important just for people just to get out and show your support.
Yeah, it's like a football game. It's like a football game. Pitcher coming in, you're a dominant team, and you dominate that team from the first, like Alabama playing like San Jose State. Going in and dominate from the entire game. They know by the third quarter, fourth quarter, man, we just got beat. If we wait as Patriots, the silent majority, if we wait until election to go out and we win by 47 states or whatever it is, the landslide that I know is coming, it's going to be like the fourth quarter where a referee makes a controversial call and we win. That's what it's going to seem like to them, and they're going to riot and go in the streets. But I guarantee you, if you get out there every weekend and do something patriotic, do something every weekend, it is going to feel like that game. You're pounding them, you're dominating the entire time. By the time, they're going to say uncle.
Yeah. They don't look. You're absolutely right. You see these polls, and then you use your eyes and your ears, and what they're telling you just doesn't add up, does it?
No. And I really think Biden's gone by next week. I'm telling you, Biden's gone by next week. The media is actually starting to ask him hard questions right now with this Hunter Biden thing. He can't answer, and he's not doing anything. I'm telling you, he's gone by next week. That's why Kamala Harris hasn't asked her a question since she was nominated. So be ready for Michelle Obama or something like that come in that next ticket.
Yeah, Kamala doesn't want to answer any questions. Trust me on that. What were you going to say, Hava?
Oh, I think I was actually thinking, did you hear her slip up and call it the Harris administration the other week? So I'm not sure if I don't personally expect Michelle to come on the scene, but I do think she's preparing for a Harrison.
As a letter person in the interweb says, these people are stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't fix stupid, can you?
Yeah.
Listen, I know that you also have the October 10th event. Now, that's specifically for Miami, Florida. Tell us a little bit about that event and why that one is special.
So we were actually invited by the Trump team to put that one on in AmpFest. So it's actually AmpFest 2020 by American Priority. We're so excited to be able to do that. So we told them we'll have about 10,000. We've already got about 10,000 registered. But let me tell you, if you're within driving distance to Miami, Florida, it is going to be the biggest thing you got. I need you down there. I need you to put a flag on your car, spend a Saturday, and let's show President Trump that we have his back. Because I'm telling you, the politicians up there, the Rhino Republicans, they don't have his back. He is working damn near by himself.
Yeah. So October 10th.
October 10th in Doral.
What's that?
It's in Doral, by Miami, at the Trump Doral.
Okay, but they can get all this information on the website as well.
That's correct. All the website, MAGA USA Drag the Interstate Facebook. We're on Instagram, MAGA Drag the Interstate on Instagram. Every platform, we've got something on there, and we'll find you. You follow me on Twitter, GhostStorm143 and Ghost GHOSTORM 143, and then Hava Loudon on Twitter. And man, we'll get you information. We've got leaders in all states. Just let us know. And if you want to volunteer, man, we always need volunteer. We need social media warriors. We need people that we've got a few states still looking for leaders. We've got patriots there, but nobody really wants to step up. We need some alpha females and alpha males out there that want our country back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I was just gonna say, we've got this October 3rd nationwide drive. We've got this special event for President Trump for the Trump team on October 10th down in Miami. Hava, tell us, do you have anything planned for Ohio coming up? A specific event?
We have we're doing the October 3rd one here. Unfortunately, I won't actually be here. I will be in DC that weekend with Walkaway. But yeah, that's going to be it. We're expecting it to be a pretty big event. Like I say, I do have a co-host, Jackie, who's going to be. I've been helping her up to that point, but she's going to be pointing on that day. Keith, don't we have one coming up right before the election as well?
November 1st will be our last one before the election. I want to keep that more local. So within an hour or two from a major location or even your neighborhoods, man, if you want to set up a neighborhood or your little small town, let me tell you, we need you in the country. We need you in small towns. We need you city. I want a liberal. Every time they get in their car, they see a Trump flag. They see American flag driving down the road.
Yeah. And the main thing for everybody to keep in mind, it doesn't matter whether it's the October 3rd, the October 10th, the November 1st date, just go to the website. And when you go to the website, you'll be able to sign up. You'll be able to see what's going on and interact with other supporters so that you know what's going on and that you get the dates and you can put them on your calendar. Have you guys heard about the return this weekend in Washington?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, it's happening. Franklin Graham is leading a march.
Yeah.
The prayer. Yes.
Yeah. I just heard, yeah.
And,
yeah.
It's called The Return, and it's a big deal. In our men's ministry, my partner Mark Cook will be speaking on behalf of the First Hour for Men, which is our men's ministry at The Return. So he'll be on stage. I think he's going on right before or right after Mike Lindell of My Soft Pillow.
Nice. That's
so, look, you'll see Mark Cook, KOCH, the First Hour for Men, and you can go to thefirsthour.com and get your free copy of the 30-day challenge. And we recommend that you do that and spread the word on that because of the fatherless issue in America. We've got to bring people back to God. And we do that one household at a time. By the way, I think that I'm following both of you on Twitter now. And I think you're following me, but I can't be sure. I'll check that after the show. But America, listen, this is an opportunity for you to get out, to interact with other supporters, do your duty, get the message out, and bury the fake news media with their lies and their non-coverage of this race. Make sure that you do your part. And it's fun, right? It's fun.
And don't worry about Antifa. Let me tell y'all about Antifa and Black Lives Matter. The problem with them is that they come out at 2 or 4 o'clock. We get up early and we do this early. We're home by then. You don't have to worry about that. They're still sleeping because they've been trashing and looting and burning your city all night. So don't worry about that, guys. We're strength in numbers. We cannot be scared anymore. You got to step up. It's fight or flight, and by God, we got to fight.
Yeah, and get your neighbors, get your family, get your friends. You guys team up, meet up somewhere with your vehicles and your flags, and head out together. Make it an event that you can share together. Take photos, get involved, and make it fun.
Yes, that's all about. And let me tell you, the best part of it, it's cool driving around, but when you meet up with everybody, because everybody's been so locked down, you meet up with everybody at the in the parking lot. It's been really great just to get in touch with people and just be excited with them.
Yeah. Have you ever been to a Trump rally?
Who, me?
Either of you, yeah.
I haven't yet.
Yeah, I have too. And it's like you could go alone and you are like with family. Like that's how it is. And that's how these are too. Like you show up and you're introducing yourself by, your incognito handle. But it's just immediate. Like people just having a blast, relating. The connection is just there.
Yeah, and I challenge all liberals, man. If you know in your gut, if you're an inherently good person and you have a good heart, you know something's going on. Like there's something that's going on. You're questioning things. All I ask you to do is show up. Show up and see the love. You're not going to see racism. You're not going to see divisiveness. You're going to see people that love this country and love you.
That's right.
Just show up.
Look, I worked with some friends out in California with the Walkaway movement. We put together a march on the Golden Gate Bridge, which I didn't get to go to because I'm back here and I'm hosting the show. But everybody that I know out there was a part of that march. They did a march across the Golden Gate Bridge, and they had a flotilla underneath the bridge. And we're seeing these increasingly getting bigger and bigger across the country. And so this MAGA Interstate drive is so exciting because people can get in their car, put up their flag, and support America, support the values of America, support the president, and doing what's right to keep our country free before it's gone. If you don't fight now, people, if you don't stand up and fight now, it's going to be too late. And then you're going to wonder, well, what happened? Well, you happened. You didn't do anything. You sat on your hands. So, Hava, do you have anything that you want to add?
The other thing I would say too is it's the optics things too. They're burning cities. We're driving cars with flags, And I just want to remind everybody, I don't know nationwide, but I think it's October 5th is the deadline to register to vote. So make sure you're registered to vote as the party that you are supposed to be and your friends and family are. That's very important.
Keith?
Yeah, we've actually been in contact with a lot of the GOPs in each one of the cities. And I don't think that the GOP is the answer either. keep like I believe in conservatism and godly principles, and I do believe that there are some people that are the establishment that are there not good for the people. But what's the lesser of two evils right now until we can get patriots in there to run for office? But we're going to have people registering at each one of our events on that last weekend. So come if you haven't registered. You know what? If you've registered before, or what we've registered a couple years ago, man, it doesn't hurt to check.
Yeah, check it out. Make sure that you're registered. And, you know, it's interesting because you brought this up, Hava. You know, if you look across these cities, okay, you see the burning, the looting, the assaulting, the murder. I mean, quite frankly, it's just out of control. It's insanity. It's evil. Okay. And you contrast that to the Tea Party movement. I had the Tea Party founder on my show yesterday, Michael Johns. And when you looked at the Tea Party would come out. They would leave the areas that they had their events in cleaner than when the event started.
Yeah.
Okay. They didn't burn anything. They didn't loot. They didn't break any law. Okay. And yet the left and the fake news media excoriated the Tea Party for what?
Yeah. For
what? Lies.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's a lot more people woke up now. So maybe that's something that needs to come back.
Yeah. Yeah. And by the way, I've got some notes here from our live chat. There's a lot of people wanting to know your handles. So I'm going to create a post for this show on Twitter once I get off this live broadcast, and I'll make sure that I'll put both of your handles on there and make sure that we also have the website on there. So expect a call from me shortly after the broadcast ends. I want to thank you, Hava Loudon. I want to thank you, Keith Lee, for doing what you're doing. I think it's awesome. I'm a huge supporter of what you're doing, and our audience is a big supporter of what you're doing, and supporters everywhere. So I think you're going to find that the movement is going to grow exponentially. So thank you again for coming on. America, I want to tell you that, look, now is the time. You've got to get off your duff if you're not doing anything, and you need to get involved. I don't care if it's a flotilla. I don't care if it's a Maga Interstate drive. I don't care if it's registering people to vote. In fact, not only registering people to vote, but volunteer to go to polling stations and make sure that these Democrats aren't cheating the president, because you know darn well that's what they have in mind. So we saw yesterday that they're dumping ballots. They found military personnel ballots in a ditch. Wake up. If you don't wake up, you're going to lose your country and you're going to lose your freedom. And then you're going to wonder what happened. It's going to be too late. Thanks for joining us on Indivisible. We'll see you next time, America. God bless you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Oh, God bless you both, and God bless your families.
Thank you.
Thank
It's enough.
Thank you.
All
All
right.
right. Bye.